billions of people on this planet, and not two of them have the same fingerprint. So what makes you think your gift is supposed to look like somebody else's gift? You were designed for something specific. You were crafted for a purpose that only you can fulfill. And when you finally tap into that gift, everything in your life is going to start making sense. I remember when I first realized what my gift was. I had spent years trying to be like other people. I was trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for me. And every time I tried to be something I was not, I failed miserably. But the moment I embraced who God made me to be, everything started to shift. Doors started opening that I did not even knock on. Opportunities started showing up that I never applied for. That is what happens when you walk in your gift. But here is where people get it wrong. They think their gift is supposed to be something big and flashy. They think it has to be something that makes the news. But your gift could be the ability to listen to people. It could be your patience. It could be the way you make others feel comfortable. It could be your creativity. It could be your ability to solve problems. Whatever it is, do not despise it just because it does not look like what you see on television. The world is waiting for your gift. There are people out there right now who need exactly what you have. They are struggling because you have not stepped into your purpose yet. They are waiting for the book you are supposed to write. They are waiting for the business you are supposed to start. They are waiting for the words you are supposed to speak. And every day you sit on your gift is another day somebody goes without what they need. So I am challenging you right now to start unwrapping that gift. Stop hiding it. Stop making excuses for it. Stop waiting until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. You just have to start. Take that first step. Put yourself out there, because the moment you start using your gift, God is going to start multiplying it. And before you know it, you are going to look up and realize you are living a life you never even dreamed was possible. Now, I know you have people in your life who do not believe in you. They tell you that your dreams are too big, that you need to be realistic, that you should just settle for what you have. But here is what I have learned over the years. Those people are speaking from their own fear. They could not do it, so they think you cannot do it either. You have got to protect your dream. You cannot share your vision with small-minded people. When God gives you a dream, He is not giving it to everybody around you. He is giving it to you. So stop asking for permission from people who have never done anything. Imagine you have a seed. This seed has the potential to grow into the biggest tree anybody has ever seen. But before you plant it, you show it to everybody around you. One person says that the seed is too small. Another person says the soil is not good enough around here for trees. Somebody else says trees take too long to grow, so why even bother? Now that the seed never makes it into the ground, because you listen to people who have never grown anything. That is exactly what happens with your dreams. You have something beautiful inside you that is ready to grow. But before you even give it a chance, you let other people's opinions kill it. And here is what gets me. Most of the people who are telling you that you cannot do it have never tried to do anything themselves. They are sitting on the sidelines of life, criticizing the people who are actually in the game. Why would you take advice from somebody who is not where you want to be? I had to learn this lesson the hard way. When I first started chasing my dream, everybody thought I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy. Some of them even laughed in my face. And for a while, I almost believed them. I almost gave up on everything God showed me because of what other people said. But something inside me would not let me quit. Something inside me knew that my dream was valid. You have got to get to a point where your belief in yourself is stronger than anybody's doubt. I do not care if your own mama does not believe in you. I do not care if your best friend thinks you are wasting your time. Their disbelief does not cancel out your destiny. God did not ask for their approval before He put that dream in your heart. So stop seeking validation from people who are not qualified to validate you. From this day forward, I need you to put your dream on a need to no basis. Not everybody needs to know what you are building. Not everybody needs to know where you are going. Some things you have to keep between you and God until it is time for the reveal. Protect your dream like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your dream is connected to your purpose, and your purpose is connected to your destiny. I need you to hear me on this one, because this might be the most important thing I say. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is that they did not let failure stop them. They used it as fuel. They got back up every single time life knocked them down. I have been homeless. I have been broke. I have had people laugh at me and tell me I would never make it. But I kept going because I believed in what God put inside of me. Let me ask you something. How many times have you quit on something because you failed the first time? How many dreams have you abandoned because things did not work out the way you planned? See, we have been conditioned to think that failure is something to be ashamed of. We hide our failures. We pretend they never happened. But the truth is, failure is one of the greatest teachers you will ever have. Every time you fail, you learn something that success could never teach you. Think about a baby learning to walk. That baby falls down hundreds of times before it takes its first steps. But not once does that baby think about giving up. Not once does that baby say, walking is not for me. That baby gets up every single time because walking is in its nature. Success is in your nature too. Greatness is in your nature. But you have to be willing to fall a few times before you can walk in it. I have failed at things that would make most people never try again. I have lost money. I have lost relationships. I have lost opportunities. There were times when I did not know how I was going to eat the next day. There were times when I was sleeping in my car, wondering if God had forgotten about me. But every single one of those failures was preparing me for where I am today. Every setback was setting me up for a comeback. You have to change the way you look at failure. Instead of seeing it as the end, start seeing it as a redirection. Maybe that job was not meant for you because God has something better. Maybe that relationship ended because God is protecting you from something you cannot see. Maybe that business failed because God is teaching you lessons you need for the business that is going to succeed. Trust the process even when it hurts. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you are still trying, you have not failed. As long as you are still getting up, you have not failed. As long as you still have breath in your body and a dream in your heart, you have not failed. Failure is not final unless you make it final. So dust yourself off, learn the lesson, and keep moving forward. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Where you come from does not determine where you are going. I do not care what your background is. I do not care what your parents did or did not do. I do not care what neighborhood you grew up in. Your past is not your prison. It is your training ground. Every struggle you went through was preparing you for the blessing that is on its way. God was building something in you that could only be built through hard times. I know people who came from nothing and now they have everything. I know people who grew up in the worst circumstances you can imagine and now they are living their dreams. And I also know people who had every advantage in the world and they are not doing anything with their lives. That tells me that your past does not determine your future. Your choices do. Your mindset does. Your willingness to change does. Maybe you grew up in a broken home. Maybe you never had a father. Maybe your mother was not there for you. Maybe you were raised in poverty. Maybe you were told your whole life that you would never amount to anything. I understand that pain. I know what it feels like to start life with the cards stacked against you. But here's what I need you to understand. Your beginning does not have to be your ending. Some of the greatest success stories in history started in the most difficult circumstances. People have come from prison cells to boardrooms. People have come from homelessness to owning mansions. People have come from illiteracy to writing best-selling books. If they can do it, why not you? What makes you any different You have the same potential inside you. You just have to believe it and act on it. Your past might explain where you have been, but it does not have to dictate where you are going. At some point, you have to stop using your past as an excuse and start using it as motivation. Let your pain push you. Let your struggle strengthen you. Let your setbacks set you up for something greater. Everything you went through was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to develop you. So today I want you to make a decision. Decide that you are not going to be defined by where you came from. Decide that you are going to write a new story. Decide that the next chapter of your life is going to be the best yet. Your past is behind you. Leave it there. Your future is in front of you. Focus on that. The windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror for a reason. Look forward and drive toward your destiny. At some point in your life, you have got to jump. You cannot just stand on the cliff looking at your dreams forever. You have to leap. Yes, your parachute might not open right away. Yes, you are going to get bruised and scratched up on the way down. But eventually, if you keep believing and keep working, that parachute is going to open. And when it does, you are going to soar higher than you ever imagined. But it all starts with the jump. The jump is the decision. The jump is the commitment. Let me explain what I mean by the jump. The jump is that moment when you stop planning and start doing. It is that moment when you stop talking about what you are going to do and you actually do it. It is quitting that job that is killing your soul so you can pursue your passion. It is starting that business even though you are scared. It is going back to school even though people say you are too old. It is walking away from that toxic relationship even though you do not know what is on the other side. Most people never jump because they are waiting for the perfect conditions. They are waiting until they have enough money. They are waiting until they have enough time. They are waiting until they feel confident. But let me tell you something. The perfect time does not exist. There will always be a reason not to jump. There will always be something standing in your way. But the people who succeed are the ones who jump anyway. I had to jump many times in my life. Every time I jumped, I was terrified. My knees were shaking. My heart was pounding. I did not know if I was going to make it. But I jumped anyway because I knew that staying on the cliff was not living. It was just existing. And I did not come into this world to exist. I came into this world to live. I came to fulfill my purpose. I came to make a difference. And that required me to jump. When you first jump, your parachute is not going to open right away. You are going to free fall for a while. That is the hard part. That is when you are struggling. That is when you are wondering if you made the right decision. That is when everybody is watching and waiting for you to fail. But you have to keep your arms and legs open. You have to keep believing. You have to keep working. Because at some point, that parachute is going to catch wind. And when that parachute opens, everything you went through is going to make sense. All the struggles, all the doubts, all the sleepless nights are going to be worth it. You are going to look down and see how far you have come. You are going to look around and see a life you never could have imagined while you were standing on that cliff. But none of that happens until you decide to jump. So what are you waiting for? Jump. I am going to be straight with you right now, and I need you to receive this with an open heart. Excuses are the nails that build the house of failure. Every excuse you make is taking you further away from your dream. You say you do not have enough time. You say you do not have enough money. You say you do not have the right connections. But people with less than you have done more than you. They just wanted it more. They stopped making excuses and started making moves. The day you stop making excuses is the day your life starts changing. I used to be the king of excuses. I could find a reason not to do something faster than I could find a reason to do it. I blamed my circumstances. I blamed other people. I blamed the economy. I blamed everything and everybody except myself. And guess what happened? Nothing. I stayed stuck in the same place year after year because I was too busy making excuses to make progress. But then I realized something that changed my life. I realized that excuses were keeping me comfortable. See, when you make an excuse, you do not have to change. You do not have to take responsibility. You do not have to face your fears. You can just sit there and blame something else for why you are not where you want to be. But that comfort is a trap. That comfort will keep you from your destiny. Look at all the successful people in the world. Do you think they did not have obstacles? Do you think they did not have challenges? Of course they did. Probably more challenges than you and me combined. But they did not let those challenges become excuses. They found a way around every obstacle. They got creative. They worked harder. They refused to let anything stop them from achieving their goals. You have the same ability. You have the same power inside you. But you have to stop giving that power away to your excuses. Every time you say, I cannot, you are giving away your power. Every time you say it is too hard, you are giving away your power. Every time you say maybe one day, you are giving away your power. Take your power back. Start saying, I can. Start saying, I will. Start saying, today is the day. From this moment forward, I want you to eliminate excuses from your vocabulary. When an excuse tries to come out of your mouth, replace it with a solution. Do not tell me why you cannot. Tell me how you will. Do not tell me what is in your way. Tell me how you are going to get around it. Do not tell me why you have not started. Tell me what you are going to do right now. No more excuses, just results. Let me tell you what nobody wants to hear, because I believe in telling you the truth even when it is uncomfortable. If you want something you have never had, you have got to do something you have never done. You have got to sacrifice. You might have to sacrifice your social life. You might have to sacrifice your sleep. You might have to sacrifice the approval of people who do not understand your vision. But the sacrifice is worth it, because when you finally reach that dream, you are going to look back and realize that everything you gave up was nothing compared to what you gained. Sacrifice is the price of greatness. You cannot get to the top without giving something up. You cannot have everything and still have the focus required to achieve your dreams. Something has to go. And most of the time, the things you have to give up are the things that are keeping you comfortable. That is what makes it so hard. You have to leave your comfort zone. You have to step into the unknown. I sacrificed a lot to get where I am today. There were parties I did not go to. There were relationships I had to let go of. There were nights when everybody else was sleeping and I was still working. There were times when I had to say no to things I wanted so I could say yes to my dream. It was not easy. But nothing worth having comes easy. Here is what I need you to understand about sacrifice. It is not just about giving up bad things. Sometimes you have to sacrifice good things for great things. Sometimes you have to sacrifice what is working for what could work even better. Sometimes you have to leave behind a good situation to step into a great one. That takes courage. That takes vision. That takes faith. The level of your sacrifice determines the level of your success. If you are only willing to sacrifice a little, you can only expect a little in return. But if you are willing to go all in, if you are willing to give everything you have, the rewards are going to be beyond what you can imagine. The universe responds to commitment. God responds to sacrifice. When you show that you are serious, doors start opening. So I am asking you today, what are you willing to sacrifice for your dream? What are you willing to give up? What are you willing to let go of? Because until you answer that question honestly, your dream is just a wish. Dreams require action. Dreams require commitment. Dreams require sacrifice. So decide right now what you are willing to lay down on the altar of your success.